Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. Now, we know what you guys are saying. Wait, didn't Julie say there weren't any live feeds yesterday? What's going on here?
Yo, Julie lied. There was like 2 hours of live feeds, and I'm not mad about this lie. It is Big Brother, house built on lies. I'll take 2 hours over the go touch grass.
Hey, Big Brother, you want to lie again? You want to get can I have some of that feed action here? Listen, this is gonna be all of us begging for them to be like, you know what? We're all gonna watch Sunday night anyway. This is the part of it I don't really understand about. We have to save this twist, but that's what they're doing. But through what we got of the live feeds yesterday, we actually do have some pretty interesting content, including Melody just like completely crashing out at Drew, who seems like he is just in the midst of like some self-identity crisis based on what happened during the show yesterday.
Okay, this is what you decided to do, Drew. So this is the consequences of the actions that you've taken. Yes, you've been able to stay. Yes, you ended up having a lot of adversity that you were going through at the beginning of this nomination ceremony. I get why you did what you did, but at the same time, it's not a popular move. I figured you probably felt like it probably was going to be. And after hearing the audience reaction and seeing that it was a bunch of alumni, I'm not surprised that you're really questioning everything. He's a really young guy who is been watching the show a very long time and doesn't want to disappoint the Big Brother community, which is why he's been working with the icons all this time. Nothing has really changed with that sort of perception for him. And that's why I think he's feeling as badly as he did. But also, getting cussed out by, Melody. Come on, man. You really did her dirty.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone is experiencing the consequences of their actions, including perhaps Barrett, and we'll talk a little bit more about him as we go along here. And beyond all that, CBS has at least given us a tiny morsel regarding this twist that we'll talk about a little bit as we go on here. But before we dive any further, be sure to join our YouTube memberships because today we have a brand new video that is talking about, especially in the wake of yesterday, is this one of the worst Big Brother seasons ever? I feel like we are far enough in. We all need to sit down, have some tough love juice, and really get into this conversation.
Yes, because there is a lot to talk about when it comes to this season being one of the worst. And it is not just because we still salty over the 1000th episode extravaganza and then them taking away the live feeds and Julie telling us to go outside. Like, it was such a disaster, but that is not what makes this one of the worst seasons that they've ever had. No. So definitely join those memberships. It really helps us out here at the channel.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We very, very much appreciate that. Okay, so just about immediately after everything that happens on the show, the feeds come back, and Melody, she wastes no time. I mean, it's already been a meme, her screaming inside the house, but she just is like blowing up on Drew, telling him that, oh, you're lying to me for sport. You're enjoying it. You're keeping secrets. You did all of this to Mallory.
Okay, it's not for sport. It's to win life-changing money. Everybody is there for life-changing money. He's not just doing it to be cruel. She is off base with that.
Yeah, like everybody has reasons why they're doing some of what they're doing. And I think it's important for us to remember that Drew has told us in the past that he does want to prioritize Melody and also some of FAP, depending on where the chips fall. And Drew has been very frustrating. But as you talked about yesterday, the icons were in power and he was on the block. So he did not exactly have a lot of recourses.
That's the thing. I understand that Melody is pissed off about this. She's pissed off about the vote and that Mallory's gone and Drew's part in all of this. But yeah, he was on the block, and when he was first on the block, he was the target. And then when we finally get to like even 24 hours before the blockbuster, Drew was the target for you, Melody. Like Melody and Barrett and all them, they were going to vote to keep Mallory over Drew and started to get the rest of the house together to get out Drew. Yeah. So like, I understand that you're mad about this one thing, but you can't be sitting up on your high horse when you were going to vote out Drew. Like, you are not being honest either.
No, and she's not being fully honest through a lot of this conversation where you have Drew who thinks through a lot of this that this is just about the vote. But what
Right.
Drew doesn't understand is he doesn't know all of the information that Barrett has given Mallory
Right.
and Melody, including that, oh, we have been working with the icons from the very, very start. And unless there was more shared that was off feeds, they may not know the word crossovers, but they know a lot of the inner workings, things like the red corner. Like there was a lot of information spilled here, and Melody has just been building up and building up and building up all this anger
Mhm.
towards Drew, who she felt like was a number one, who she was willing to trust and trust and trust again and again. Like I think she's mad at him, but she's also mad at herself, and she doesn't really have any outlet in the house, and so he becomes an easy person to yell at then.
Listen, Melody, I'm going to give you a little bit of grace here because you are in the Big Brother house.
Yeah.
Yes, you trusted wrong, but you do have to have people that you can try to trust. And
Yeah.
that's why this game is so complicated,
Yeah.
right? This is a house that is built on lies. Everybody's trying to get to the end any way possible, but you do have to have allies. And whether or not they turn out to be true or not, you have to put your trust in somebody in the house. You just happen to put it in Drew, who happened to be part of another alliance. That is the way that it falls. And you could be mad about it. Nobody's saying, like, don't be pissed about it. But also look at the whole picture of what game show you're on and how that happens. And don't be mad at yourself for trusting somebody. You have to do that, or you don't end up winning this game. You can't be an island in Big Brother and win.
No, you do need allies, and you just need to be able to figure out, can you really trust him? Can you suss out the good and the bad? And Drew, he did a good job duping her. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
he
we just
did.
have to be honest about that. And like, but because her eyes are wide open now, she sees through some of the nonsense. And even when he's telling the truth, she doesn't want to believe him. Like he
And
said,
why should she?
yeah, it doesn't have any reason to. Like Drew was in here being like, oh, I would have kept Mallory if the votes were there, which I mean might actually be true, but the problem is Drew
Yes.
knew the votes were never going to be there.
That's right.
And so it's very easy for him to say that. And for Melody, it comes across like a lie. Now, I do think Drew may be telling the truth when he says, oh, I do still want to take you to final two, because I feel like Drew probably thinks that he could beat Melody at the end.
Yes, that's right. I think he does think that. And I'm not sure that he can. I mean, it's tough. Like, Melody doesn't have a lot of fans in this
Mhm.
house either. But if a lot of the underdogs are sitting on the jury, they're not voting for Drew. He has really screwed over that whole side of the house.
Yeah.
I don't know how he wins.
It's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be a situation where if Drew wins this season, it's going to be more about why the person who he sat next to lost more so than it is what he did to win.
Yeah, it's going to be season 19 all over again, where Josh won because everybody just didn't like Paul. But
Yeah.
speaking of that, Drew really is crashing out about this vote, that he voted to vote out Mallory, and he heard the audience audibly gasp
Yeah.
over that, where he realized something isn't right. And then when they opened the door and Mallory left, he saw who was sitting in that audience and he broke apart.
Yeah, like this is somebody he's talked about watching Big Brother since he was around 8 years old, and like this is a show that does mean a lot to him. Like he idolizes Dr. Will, and like he's done I think a lot of antics because he kind of wants to be that sort of player. And with the whole audience gasping thing, it's interesting because I know there's always these questions of how much can people hear in the house of what's going on the outside during these shows. And I think the problem is that when Julie is talking to them, like the sound from outside, it does have to come into that diary room a little bit.
Of course, it has to come through her mic. They're going to be able to hear some of it.
Yeah, and because this reaction was so loud, like it's obviously going to get in there. And I think Drew is just now in this position where he's like, I've disappointed all my heroes. None of my heroes like me. Nobody has any respect for what I've done. Like, clearly, they all really love Mallory. Like, I'm sure he's probably thinking now in these hours since the feeds went down of it's just like, did I win the power just because everybody really liked Mallory and I was working with her because she got the power earlier than I did, right?
Yeah, and he may have been thinking that he got the power because he was working with the
Yep.
icons, thinking that everybody in America loves the icons. And there's a lot of people that do, but there's a lot of people that don't.
So Drew is looking for some element of comfort here. Melody's not giving him comfort. Melody does not want to hug him, doesn't want to be around him right now.
Yeah, I understand.
He goes, of course, to the icons and to
Yep.
D and, like, tells them Melody doesn't trust him anymore. The icons,
Right.
they kind of sort of comfort him, but I might be reading too much into it, but it felt kind of weak, to be honest. It felt like this guy just put his entire neck on the line in the game to support you and what it is that you want, even though it didn't benefit him. Like, could you guys give him more hugs, more kumbaya, just do something more to make him feel okay about this?
Did it not benefit him? I mean, yeah, he was kind of working with Mallory and Melody and Barrett, but they were all about to turn on him and vote him out. So, I mean, the icons have done this as well, where they put him on the block and then decided to vote him out. But he has continued to show loyalty to them, to the extent that, now they're just like, he's our guy and we are going to actually protect him moving forward, whether or not that's true or
Mhm.
not. It is Big Brother. I think they may just be kind of like, yeah, we get it, but like, you're not working with her, you're working with us. And
Yeah.
obviously the mosh pit is over. So we're still here with you. We're the crew. We're together and you're still here. So you did right by being with us because we're the alliance, not Melody.
I think it's an interesting situation now where Drew, if he comes across as too emotional, they're going to be like, well, why are you so emotional about these people?
He
We're your
seems to be a really emotional guy. So, I mean,
Yeah, he really does. I mean, it's come out more and more over this past week. And
yep.
Melody, like, she's in this spot where she probably feels like, who can I vent to anymore? Because, Barrett has opened up to her a lot, but it's really been the past 24, 36 hours. And before that, he was lying to her for most of the game. So it's like,
And she
that's,
knows it.
yeah. And you can't talk to Drew. Mallory's gone. So she goes and has a solo phone call with their mom with their fake prop phone, and she
Mhm.
just feels like she feels dumber than she's ever felt in her entire life. And I mean, she's just sort of saying, maybe it's good that it happened now because I can never feel this bad about myself at any other point. Like, it has to go up from here. I mean, she is really, really upset. And apparently,
Mhm.
Haley also laughed in her face after this eviction. Haley continues to be
Jeez.
the worst social player I have ever seen.
She absolutely is. She's somebody that I think Drew can beat.
Yeah,
Like, she's just so, like, you're gonna laugh in her face. Like, what? Oh my God. What?
yes,
Are you not playing to win? Do you not know that these
yeah,
people have to vote for you at the end? Like, there was no reason for that.
no,
There's no benefit for that. None of it made any sense.
no, it was
I
sort of
don't
like,
understand Haley at all.
I don't either. And it's even like when Barrett was campaigning and she like ran some information back about Barrett to the icons when it's like the icons turned their back on you, Haley, not that long ago and split up your whole a lot. Why are you not trying to build social inroads anywhere? You're not on the block. Like, you don't have any incentive that, oh, you have to go and tattle on these people to ensure your own safety here.
No, they've pretty much fully brought her in. And I mean, Haley, who's she going to go work with? She seems to hate everybody on the other side of the house.
She really, really does.
And everybody hates her back. So, you're welcome.
One of the questions that I did have yesterday was that because, there are periods of time on eviction days where the feeds are down,
Yes.
was sort of like, okay, does Drew know about everything that Barrett was doing when it comes to Barrett trying to get him out of the game? And it feels like, at least going into the twist, the answer there is no. Like, the two of them talked as though they have been talking, and Drew is still in his feelings, being like, no newbie is ever going to want to work with me again. But yeah, they'll
Right.
work with you, Barrett, because you didn't vote with the icons.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. And that's fine. Like he has had to choose a side and
Yeah.
he did. Barrett is still playing all the sides because Barrett did tell the icons, I'm not voting Mallory out no matter what. He was honest about it. They knew where he stood with that, and
Yeah.
that is what was happening, and that is what happened. So, I mean, we don't know if there's any fallout from that, but I doubt it because he was really honest about it. And they were like, okay, well, oh, we don't need your vote, so it doesn't really matter. We already know that we have this on lock. So thanks for telling us, but it doesn't matter.
I wish there's only a couple hours. There wasn't time. I wish we had more time to hear from Drew directly because, like, he talked about how he feels like Kelly from last season, where his own alliance is just putting him up just to take people out of the game. And it's sort of like, yeah, you have these people who you can kind of sort of trust, but they've also put you on the block multiple times. And then there's also just this question of, am I just being used by you in order to do a lot of your dirty work at the end of the day? So it's like, I don't know where his head is at anymore.
Well, he's kind of stuck. Like, he's had to choose a side. He has chosen the icons, and whether they're actually going to take him to the end or not, this is where he is. The other side is not going to take him back. There isn't enough time to turn that around. At best, he might be able to do some sort of jury management if he takes the time to really at least work that other side of the house with the knowledge that everybody just knows that he's working with the icons and that is just the way that it is. But I could see all three of the icons deciding to take Drew to the end because they all know for sure that he has burned that other side of the house. So any of those people that are on jury, they are not giving their votes to Drew unless he's able to work some magic. It's not impossible, but it's a hard road.
All right, let's talk a little bit more now about the twist, because CBS has given a tiny smidge of information, and it feels like we can narrow a couple of things down here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read what they have said. The house guests traveled back to the year 1000, where 4 Big Brother legends will lord over the night and challenge house guests in a way no Big Brother house guests have been challenged before.
Yes, and I mean, they revealed some of this last night.
Yeah, they revealed some of it. Now, let's focus on the word challenged here. And just when we sort of couple that with, all right, you guys built this elaborate set. You have these 4, other icons coming into the game.
And it's like medieval times where there is a lot of battles. And I mean, they're not going to be out here jousting or anything like that. But it is a lot of like this person versus this person to the end.
Yeah, I think it's fair to assume that this is going to be some sort of challenge that does end up with an elimination. Now, I know you guys are going to be like, whoa, 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 Matt and Jess. They said this is not going to be something that's been done before. They're not going to just do the White Locust all over again. They can do a variation of it because this
They
is
sure
the thing.
can because they know how much we all hated it last season. So why not bring it back?
These are also the same people who told us there were going to be no live feeds yesterday, and there were live feeds yesterday. So it's just like, how much stock do we want to put into it? Okay, so here is just a theory. Since you mentioned jousting person versus person, what if we're looking at something here where it is we have one-on-one showdowns with all of the remaining house guests, and then like the people who win those showdowns, they're safe. And then we have another wave, and this kind of goes in multiple waves, not to make it like a Survivor comparison because they're survivors in the game, but they have those immunity challenges sometimes where you do go through different waves and then there's one person who wins. It kind of feels like maybe this is the reverse of that, where we're going to have a series of competitions that take place over the night so that everybody has multiple chances. So it's not just like White Locust and then one person ends up being eliminated at the very end.
Okay, guys, if we come back on Sunday night and all 3 of the icons are still in the house,
I know.
You thought that I was mad yesterday. I'm gonna be so mad on Sunday because, like, I'm not saying it's rigged, but I'm saying it's rigged at this point. Like, there's been so many advantages that have been given to the icons in ways that I'm just like, this feels on purpose. It just feels on purpose. What are the chances that, Devins gets the most powerful thing in the house and all the newbies are getting a bunch of punishments? Like, what a coincidence. If we come back on Sunday and all the icons are still in the house, we're going to be having a very different conversation about the show being rigged.
Okay, everyone, don't hate me for what I'm about to say. I'm also telling this to myself. I'm telling it to you. Do not hate me for what I'm about to say.
I'm gonna
Okay.
hear it first.
All right. If I could
Moo.
grow. Oh, listen, Uncle Moo is just here to state the facts and to
Okay,
say
let's
what's on
hear
his
it.
mind.
All
All
right,
right.
let's hear it, Moo.
Okay, so what if this is a situation where we all rejoice because on Sunday night, let's say an icon is gone from the game, and it is Angela. I'm just going to throw Angela out there because she's hardly a comp beast.
Yeah, if anyone goes, it'll be Angela, if it's any of the icons.
Then they're going to be like, you remember what the theme for the season is? Time travel. You know what we haven't done for a little while now? A battle back. This is a little bit of a longer season than last season.
It
They can
is.
always finagle where there's doubles, triples, whatever. I don't want to hear any of this. There's not enough days left because they can always figure out the schedule to suit their needs.
Absolutely.
And so it just so happens that after we lose one of the icons, if I could grow a mustache and it wouldn't bother me, I would grow one and twist it for this. That they're gonna do that to then magically give one of these icons a chance to stay around in the game again. I'm sorry.
Then we're gonna have a bigger rigged conversation on Sunday night. Like, it's gonna be pretty serious.
I'm just really worried about it because it's like they're really stressing this has never been done before. And yes, they've done battle backs before too, but they will probably
have.
finagle this to be like, this combination of things has never been done before at this exact point in Big Brother. So it is new, it is special. You are welcome,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
But that is where we are in this edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. Let's just turn this now to you guys. What do you think Melody and Drew can actually do in the aftermath of all of this?
Nothing.
This is the darkest timeline, everybody. Let us know. Give us your thoughts on this twist and also join our YouTube memberships. Our exclusive video all about whether or not this is one of the worst seasons ever is up. Thank you so much. We will have more coverage this weekend. Stay tuned for that. We'll see you here next time.